Good morning, students. I welcome all the students in class 9, and we are going to discuss the socialism in Europe and the Russian Revolution. There are two different factions. One is regarding the socialism and another one is Russian Revolution. This chapter suggests that Russia was also influenced by the socialism factors, socialism theory. In world, there are two types of theory that was prevalent. One that is the capitalist society, another one that is the socialist society. A basic difference if we find between the socialist society and the capitalist society is that in capitalist society, property is assembled or accumulated in the few hands, where in socialist society, the resources or property are equally distributed among the peoples. Before I do start, I do remember we have discussed many times regarding the term revolution. What does the revolution mean? It has two different meanings. In which context we want to take? Whether in the term of science and geography or in the term of political science. When we correlate this word with the science, it means when a body moves around a fixed point or fixed body, it means we can say it is revolve. This type of motion is called revolution. Earth revolve around the sun. It means it is the revolutionary motion of the earth. It is in geography. But in political science, it has a different meaning. And what is the different meaning? That when a mass, a group of peoples comes together, and when they come together, they raise their voice against the current political authority. They wanted to throw out the current political system, and in place they want to implement or introduce a new type of political system. If they want to throw out the new old political system and introduce the new political system, it means we must have to understand and go through what was the condition before the revolution and after the revolution. Few things that we have to keep in mind. What things that we have to keep in mind? We have to see the political condition. We have to see the social condition. We have to see the economic condition. We have to see the political condition. What was the political condition before and what changes took place? What was the social condition and what was the economic conditions? We have done the same thing when we had discussed the French Revolution. In the French Revolution, the government changed from the monarchy to the dictator. Few times dictator, it means Napoleon Bonaparte, and lastly in between the monarchy and dictator there was a democracy also. Then finally it come to the democratic. Here we also want to discuss the same. First, if we discuss the political condition. What was the political condition? If we see about the political condition, we can say like the other European countries, Russia was also ruled by autocratic monarch. It means it was under the monarchy system. Monarch was autocrat. It means all the powers were assembled in the hand of the monarch. And if all the powers are in the hand of the monarch, it is obvious that peoples will not have any freedom. We can say people have no freedom, freedom of speech, no, freedom of expression, no. They also did not have the freedom of making the political parties. I am talking about the conditions before 1917. We are talking about before the 1917. Peoples were not allowed to form the political party, and all the political parties were declared illegal before 1917, means before the revolution. Even though the Russian Social Democratic Labour Party or Workers' Party, somewhere you find that it is written the Worker Party, somewhere you find it is written the Labour Party. It was the base political party, the Russian Social Democratic Labour Party. It was formed in 1898. It was illegal. They were not operating legally, they were underground, they were operating the underground. This is the important political party. Russian Social Democratic Labour Party. This party first split in 1903, reunion in 1906, but finally in 1912 this party 1912 it was divided into two fractions, that is the Bolshevik and the Menshevik. And the Bolshevik party was led by the Lenin, Vladimir Lenin, about whom we will read the next, means after this discussion. No political freedom, nothing else. Then just see what was the social condition of the Russia. We have to see the social condition of Russia also. If we see them, you can understand the economic condition as well. 85% of the population were dependent on agriculture. 85% population was dependent on agriculture. It means it was agriculturist society. They were the one of the largest producer and exporter of the cereals in the world. There was no evidence of middle class as we had seen in the case of the French Revolution. In French revolutions, we had found that the emergence of the middle class, but here we don't find the emergence of the middle class. There was no middle class. The agricultural peoples, means peasants, were very much religious minded, but they don't have any sympathy for the nobles. Nobel के प्रति उनका कोई सम्मान नहीं. But we have seen that in France, the peasants had the respect for the nobles, but here they don't have the respect for the nobles. These peasants wanted that the land should be divided among themselves. It means they wanted to take the land from the nobles and should be distributed among themselves. Industrial workers were also divided on the basis of their skill. It means society was divided not as much as we have seen in the other countries of the Europe, but still we say it was basically divided between one was the peasants agriculture who composed 85% and another groups were the labor means industrial workers. Among the industrial workers they were also divided, and it was reflecting from their uniform dress and other things also. Then what were the economic conditions? The economic conditions previous. In the economic condition, if we say economic conditions, other European countries had been meeting the industrial revolution, but in Russia they had not met the industrial revolution. Means industries was limited in the pockets in the early stages also. If we see in the 19th century, in the last decade of the 19th century or quarter of the 19th century, we find the development of in industries are there. And we know that in a country, if industry is not developed, their economy is not as developed as the other countries where the industry is developed. Industrial development also increases the economic development. It means in economy, it was not very far ahead. No problem, society was educated society. The French society was the educated society. And when educated society were there, they were also being influenced by the different types of peoples. That we divide the different types of peoples, different thought in French Revolution. We have discussed about the importance of the work of the scholars. Here we also find the work of those peoples, and the peoples have the different ideas. According to their ideas, we divide the groups on this basis: the liberals, radicals, and the conservatives. We will discuss separately the policy of the liberals, policy of the radicals, and the policy of the conservative one by one. Now, the policy of the liberals or ideology of the liberals, because we have to discuss about the policy of the liberals, radicals, and the conservatives. What were the policy of the liberals? First policy of the liberals that we find that they wanted a nation which tolerate all religion. It means if they tolerate all the religion, this shows they were the secular in nature. In secular state, if we take the example of India, India is a secular country because all the religions are treated equally. It is the government policy to simply do not support any particular religion but take the sentiment of all the religious group. So they were in favor of all the religions. It means they were secular in nature. That means we find their ideology was good that prevailed in today's society also, because no country made up of a single religion. For some times between the two world war, we can say yes, Germany tried to be, but now Germany is still not the belonging to one race or one religion. So it is a very good policy that was adopted by the liberals. The second they had adopted, they were against the uncontrolled dynastic rule. In dynastic, we have discussed it was the autocratic rule, and this autocratic rule, all the power were in the hand of the ruler, means Tsar. Who is the Tsar? Tsar was the post given to Russian monarch before 1970. So they were against the uncontrolled dynastic rule. It means simply they wanted two things: either the power of the monarch should be reduced or monarch should be thrown away. If the monarch is there, their power should be limited and curtailed to a great extent, or should be thrown out. It means they don't want it that all the power should be accumulated and centralized in the one hand, that is the monarch. Then they supported the fundamental rights. We have discussed already that in Russia, people had not got the fundamental, means no any rights. They had no fundamental rights. And fundamental rights is very much necessary for the development of overall development of the people. Then we also say that they supported a representative elected parliament. It is the main basics of the democratic government. The representative parliament, it means it is the people, rule of the peoples, because people elect the representative from among themselves and they go and frame the laws. It means since the peoples belonging to the same groups, they are not the aristocrat, they are not the leaders, since they are from the common men, the representative peoples, we think that they are common men, so they do understand the grievances of the common man, so they put forward their grievances and draft the policy in their favors. It is said, by sitting in the cool room, we cannot imagine what is happening in the scorching sun. The same thing, dynastic rules, it was difficult to analyze and frame the laws, because dynastic rules, the king cannot make any law which may go against them. They don't want to frame a law which may reduce their power. But in representative parliament, representative democracy, they frame the laws in the benefit of the common peoples. It means we find in the policy they had given the more emphasis on the common peoples. They were in favor of the well-trained independent judiciary. The three organs of the government: the legislative, executive and judiciary. In our country also, the judiciary is separate from legislative and executive. If we say that in country India, the judiciary has been separated from legislative and executive, which is mentioned in Article 50 of the Indian Constitution. Because judiciary should be independent of the political party and ruling government. Because in representative government, the political party becomes the most important factors and they form the government, and if judiciary is not independent, they may force and apply their force to frame and not to change their policy, because judiciary give the correct decision whether laws framed by a legislative is correct or not, whether it is welfare in the form of the people or not, people के लिए अच्छा है या नहीं है. But we are finding few things that go quite well for all the peoples. But the 2 points that we are going to discuss, it was a little blot on the liberals' policy. I do think, because you might have been thinking if you discuss it. Nations, टू टॉलरेट ऑल द रिलीजन, सेकुलर, सबके लिए बराबर है, अच्छी बात है, वेरी गुड वन. Uncontrolled dynastic rules means power should not be concentrated in one hand, means they supported the distribution of power, good things. This supports fundamental rights because fundamental rights is necessary for the growth of the people's overall development, good things. Supporting the representative elected parliament, it means the government should be made by the peoples for the peoples, good things. They were in favor of the well-trained judiciary because judiciary decisions should not be influenced by the political authority or political institution, good things. But if we see this point, they supported privilege of the great landlords and wealthy factory owners. The factory owners is the main aim is to earn the profit by maximum utilizing the labor force. They do not share their profit with the labor force. It will see, if we judge the liberals on this ground, we find they were in the flow. What were the flaws? Because they had supported the special privilege that was given to the great landlords, and great landlords would may suppress the small farmers and peasants. At the same time, the another policy that we think, they did not support the universal adult suffrage. Universal adult franchise means all the citizen of the country who has attained a certain age has the right to vote. In our country India, at present, the minimum age to cast your vote is 18 years. Every country has their ages. Almost maximum country has 18 years as the minimum age to cast their vote. Few countries have 21 years also. Few have the 17 years also. So it depends on it. But maximum countries has 18 years. It means all the peoples who are the citizen of the country, irrespective of their caste, religion, gender, etc., has the right to vote. It means they did not support the universal adult suffrage. They did not wanted to give the voting right to women. If we have seen the French Revolution also, we had seen that even the men, all the men were not given the voting rights. Women's completely not given. Among the men, all the men were also not given the voting rights. Only those men who were paying the taxes equivalent to the wages earned by a labor in the 3 days. But here in Russian revolutions, we see, yes, they were, all the men were given the voting right. Not Russian revolution, there was a demand of the liberals, and women were denied of giving the voting rights. It means, if we see, the few points goes in favor of the liberals. Now 2 points goes in their demerits. We cannot say demerit, it was their flaw. Now we will discuss the policy of the radicals. Now we will discuss the ideology or philosophy of the another groups, that is radicals. What are the policies? First policy that we see, the radicals demanded, they had the ideology that government was based on the majority of the country's population. It means the institution, political party which wins the majority, the political party which wins the majority should form the government. It means government was based today in our country also, in all the democratic country. Who forms the government? Simply the majority forms the government. We have also seen, when we were discussing about the constitution of the South Africa, where there we have seen that the blacks were in majority and blacks had formed the government, but they cannot frame the laws which may go against the whites, so that they were government. It is good sign that government should be based on the country's populations. based on the majority of the country's population. Country's populations, it means the other groups should also be given the representation. In Russia, people belonging to different groups are living there. Now Russia is not the Russia that we are talking about. This Russia, today's Russia, this Russia has broken down in 1991. It framed the another 15 countries. So at that time, since many countries were the part of his Russia, so different religious groups might have been residing, different cultural peoples. So majorities should be formed, no problem. But the others should be also given the chance. That is our views. But it was the demand, whose demand, whose ideology? It was the radicals ideology. And we say the Bolshevik party that we are going to make a study in this chapter itself, which was led by the Lenin. And before the starting, I had told you in 1898, Russian Social Democratic Labour Party was formed. This party was illegal declared because we have discussed that all the political parties were declared illegal before 1917. Due to few reasons, this party was first split in 1903. Again, it got reunited. Again, they split in 1912, and the majority fractions were called the Bolshevik, and this Bolshevik group was led by the Lenin, and which had a great role in the Russian Revolution. Then they opposed the privilege given to the great landlords and the wealthy factory owners. Liberals had supported the privilege given to the great landlords, but the radicals had opposed the privilege given to the great landlords and the factory owners. It means the flow that we find in the radicals, liberals, it is had been compensated in the radicals policy. We have read already that liberals were not in the form of the universal adult suffrage or universal adult franchise. It means they were not wishing to give the political right or voting right to the women, but here we find that radicals have supported the women's suffrage movement. It means all the groups trying to give their best ideology, and this ideology worked in the Russian Revolution. When we go for the Russian Revolution, then we find that this Lenin had a great role, Bolshevik party had the great role, and it became the main role, which later on came to be known as the Communist Party of Russia. After this one, we go for the radicals. We have got the liberals, now radicals. Now we will discuss about the policy of the conservatives. Now, the third idea, that is about the conservatives. What were the ideology of the conservatives? A conservative means the ideology which do not want a change. That we can say they are the orthodox nature. Orthodox nature हो गया जो पहले है चल रहा है, it is okay. They were not in favor of the great change. Now, in the early 18th century, generally they were opposed to a change in the society. जो जैसा है चलने दो. They don't wanted a change. Like the liberals wanted a change, like the radicals wanted a change, but the conservative-minded peoples, they don't want a change. In our society itself, we say the people who respect the past, remember the past, जैसे they have the conservative nature. अभी बहुत पुराने ख्यालातों के हैं, विचार के हैं. What are the meaning of the पुराने ख्यालात? Means they want to respect the past. In 1789, after 1789, the French Revolution, they had seen and found that the French society, the changes had taken place. Since the changes had taken place, everything is changing. So they started feeling, yes, we require a little change. थोड़ा सा परिवर्तन चाहिए, change चाहिए. When? Only after the French Revolution. And when the French Revolution had taken place, French Revolution had taken place in 1789. They agreed to need for a change. Yes, change चाहिए. Before the French Revolution, they were not in much in the favor of a change. But after the French Revolutions, they were in the favor of the change. By the 19th century, it means 18th century, means after the French Revolution, 19th century, when the Russia was going through a social change, in that period, this group accepted that some change was inevitable. Yes, we cannot stop the change because it was a period of social change in the Russia. By the times the foreign company in the last of the 19th century, we find the foreign company started coming. The society was changing and foreign investment took place. Due to foreign investment, the railway network increased, factory established, peoples from the village, men, women, children coming to the cities. In city, the cluster area, the slum area also started, and we might have discussed that the slum area started from the European country, means firstly from the Great Britain itself. They were working in the factory instead of the field or agriculture field. It means the society was changing. It was a social change. Means fact workers were finding themselves different from the agricultural peoples. दोनों अलग अलग. It means finding changes. So the people say, yes, we are accepting it because some changes inevitable, we cannot stop it. And they believe that past had to be respected. Yes, change is taking place, no problem. But we have to respect the past. We cannot forget our past. It is a rich cultural heritage, and respect and change had to be brought. Yes, change is coming. We are accepting it. It's inevitable. We cannot stop it. But it should come with the slow process. We see that between the two centuries, the conservative ideology had taken a change. What changes? Earlier they were not wishing any change, but after the French Revolution, when they find that French Revolution changes had taken place and the French society has started influencing the other European countries, so they said it is inevitable. Industrial revolution had taken place at that times, and due to industrial revolutions, the society was drastically changing. Russia, which has not seen the industrial revolution, who has not made the industrial revolutions due to their government policy, foreign companies started coming, and the industrial revolution, not industrial revolution started. They started investing in the industries, basically in the railway and the production of iron and steel and the coal become many times, and this social change, people were coming from the village. So these type of changes we are finding it. In this video we have got it. What were the political, social and economic conditions of Russia, means before 1917. If the ideology concerns peoples were the educated peoples, so they were divided into fractions according to their ideology. And what were the ideology? They consigned their ideology in the form of the liberals, the radicals and the conservative. We have got their idea. Now in the next video we will discuss how these changes had taken place. Thank you.